Jack, I know the day's not done yet, but let's describe your practice and the mood and spirit from your hockey team, the loss of Nick Paul.
Yeah, I think we've been through this, obviously, a lot of guys for a long time when it comes to trade deadline. But as we talked to the guys this morning, just told them that there's things in life that you can control and things you can't control. So, but the one thing that we can control is our professionalism and our work ethic. And I thought we went out there for 35, 40 minutes this morning and worked extremely hard.
Travis Hamonic, one of the newest members of the Senators, you have a first-hand knowledge, working knowledge with him. Can you just offer an opinion on what the team is getting?
Yeah, it's been a while, for Travis. He's a guy that was a high pick for the Islanders at the time and out of the Western Hockey League. But he's a gritty guy. He's a right shot, extremely high character player, does a lot in the community. There's some things that happen in his personal life that he gives back. So, he comes as advertised. I mean, he is what he is. He plays hard. He plays, with grit. He has that brotherhood mentality. Anything that he has to do for his teammate, he'll do.
Is he expected to join the team for tomorrow night's game?
I don't believe so tomorrow night. The last I heard, it could be Winnipeg.
You know him well. What do you think he can bring to your room and to help stabilize that defense?
Well, I think, again, it's been a while, but I just, Cal DeHaan, obviously, from the area. Like when he played with Cal or he played with, Nick Leddy and some of these guys, he has some offensive creativity to his game, but he really takes a lot of pride in defending against top lines. And he's a right shot. And when you have a player that, takes pride in shutting down top lines as he did in New York, that's what he's going to give you. And again, we got a good young D. We got defensemen up and down our lineup in Belleville as well. But I think that Pierre Dorian asked me about him last week. I'm sure the scouts have watched him over the last year or so because there was talk about him even a year ago. But again, he gives you that right shot, a little bit sneaky offensively at times, but can log minutes and play against other teams' top lines.
When you spoke to him, what did you tell him about how he could fit in with this group?
Well, I leave that to Pierre Dorian. Pierre had the one thing that I tried to focus with, and he's had obviously going back over the last year that he had to miss some time because of his daughter who was sick in the hospital. I just tried to talk to him a little bit about our team, a little bit about our group, a little bit about our fan base, a little bit about the close-knit community that we have here. It's not overly a big city like he's been in previously and some of the places he's been in. So just tried to, knowing Travis, obviously family's first for him. So that was the main thing that I tried to focus on, what the Ottawa Senators are.
Jack, what was your relationship like with him in New York?
He was one of my assistant captains, so it was strong, obviously. He worked his way up from Bridgeport, just like a lot of those guys that are there now, but it was a real good relationship. Different players you motivate differently. Travis is one of those guys that, again, he takes a lot of pride. And I respect how hard guys play, and that's what he did. He whether it was practice, going against Tavares all the time, there was just little things in his game and how he wanted to achieve his goals and get better as a player. So, again, I haven't seen him in a while. Had a good talk with him yesterday just for a brief amount of time as he was going to talk to his family after DJ and Pierre Dorian talked to him. So I think he's excited to come. I think he can help our hockey team. It's the relationship, with coaches and players. He's one of these guys that I'm sure DJ will have, it'll be easy to get along with him just because the way that DJ understands players and how they want to work, how they take care of themselves off the ice. This is, Travis is a 10 out of 10 in that area.
Is there one thing in particular that young defensemen can look up to him and take after one aspect of his game?
Well, I think, again, like he'll do whatever it takes to win, whether it's, playing against top lines, blocking shots, Those are the intangibles of what I look at in a game. Like everybody looks at goal scorers, but what about in the last minute? Who wins a key faceoff? Who's going to block a key shot? I mean, that's how you win Stanley Cups. So he's a guy for me, like offensively, yeah, he's sneaky. He's got 4 goals, right now in 24 games, whatever he has. But at the end of the day, he's a guy that is going to be reliable for a hockey team. And I think guys will be able to look up to him in a way of how he takes care of himself off the ice, how he does his charity, and how he gives back to the community, that they'll be impressed.
Is that something about the small town factor you think that might be beneficial to him? Can you maybe explain?
No, I think it will, because we were in New York and it was a big city, right? It's like we were going from Nassau County to Brooklyn, and, you know, the whole thing that was taking place with the building there. And I think the one thing that you have to know about Travis, and DJ and Pierre can talk more about it, is it's always family first with him. And to me, that's what I wanted to stress. And if you talk to Travis, he'll tell you the same thing. He's got 2 young kids. We have a lot of players on our team that we talk to him about that have young kids as well, and how it's close-knit. And that's important to Travis. And I'm not saying other organizations aren't like that. I just tried to explain to him what we have here in Ottawa with our team and with the organization.
Jack, do you see him as a potential fit with Thomas Chabot?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, he's always played with Quinn Hughes, right? 19, 20 minutes. He's played with, you know, top guys in New York. So I don't know why that you don't ever want to project anything, but if you're looking at Travis Hamonic and knowing what I know about him, I would say he's a guy that would complement Travis and Thomas would complement him, because Travis takes a lot of pride, obviously, in how he plays the game, and Thomas, as we know, is a very elusive player, an offensive player.
Can you give us a sense of the stability that Anton Forsberg has brought to your crease, and obviously getting a 3-year deal, and kind of what that's done for your organization here, really since early December?
Well, if you look at how the guys play in front of him and what he's done, to me, when you see a guy get a 3-year contract, learned about it this morning at whatever figure that he got, it just goes to show you that when you put in the work, you get rewarded for it. And there's not another guy in that room that is in that weight room constantly and working on his game constantly. So you really like to see those guys get rewarded. And I think that's what the guys respect most of him. And our young goalies in our organization can learn a lot from him on how he prepares himself to get ready for a game.
At the start, you said that you had to remind players at the early day that you have to control what you can control. Is this to say that the loss of Nick Paul maybe took a toll on
I think anytime you go through a deadline, it's going to take a toll on guys. These guys have been together for a long time, and but this is the business that we're in, and it happens, you know, every single year to teams. You know, you lose a good friend, you lose a good teammate, but we just wanted to make sure this morning that, you know, that we went out there and we had the job, do the job at hand that we had, the task at hand. So it happens, we get it. We wish nothing but the best for Nick Paul. He's an integral part of our team and a great teammate and a funny guy to be around. But that's just the business that we're in.
Can you talk about adding Matthew Joseph and what he can do for your penalty kill?
Yeah, well, we've seen him now, obviously, in Tampa, and DJ can probably speak a little bit more on him. But obviously, he's got good speed. He's a physical player. He moves really well up and down the ice, good hockey sense. And if you look at that penalty kill, it's similar to ours in a lot of ways. They got some speed, obviously, you know, and if you look at Farmington and you look at Connor Brown, he fits right into that mold of how he can help us on the special teams. But, you know, he's tough to play against. Like, if you watch video on him, he's a guy that, you know, you always ask yourself, do you want to play against this guy, right, when you're looking at a player? And he's one of those guys that, you know, he plays a quick game, but he also plays physical, and he lets you know that he's in the game. So looking forward to seeing what he has when he comes in and play for the Senators.
You alluded to the fact that when you were with the Islanders, you kind of bounced around. There was a lot of uncertainty. What's it going to be like for you going back to that? Like, have you had a chance to see that new arena?
Yeah, no, we went back to one game. I had a chance to see it, and it's pretty spectacular, to be honest with you. Scott Malkin and John Ledecky, the owners there, and obviously with, you know, Lou Lamoriello there now, like, you knew it was going to be done first class. Talked to, obviously, some of the guys, Pajot, that was here, and obviously all the guys that I've coached that are there, and it's a beautiful arena. Doesn't have that same Nassau Coliseum feel to it, the rowdiness, but, you know, if you want to take your family to the game and you want to enjoy a hockey game, it's a great venue.